good evening, good morning, folks. Way opinion you at Digimon Always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, time is flying by. It's school's always started for the kids. I know your parents are happy. I know your kids are crying. I was a kid too. I didn't like to go back to school. I said no, no. But you know what? You gotta get education. You can't only live with mom and daddy. Well, I lived with my mom for a long time. We were roommates, so I might as well say. So, folks, I have here's a lovely lady. She just competed, this summer. She had a couple of shows, and she's IFBB physique competitor. This is the lovely Mrs. Wendy Graack-Wilson. She last competed at Tampa, and she made her debut at Chicago Pro. And she competed both in women's masters classes. And we're going to talk to the lovely Miss Graack-Wilson, and share a story with us, how she got started, what inspires being bodybuilder, and her plans for the rest of this year. It will be longer. Can you believe it? It just seemed like it started 2024, and this is the eighth month, and we're just 4 months away from a new year. Well, that's crazy. So, welcome, ma'am. Thank you for joining us, and please share your story how you got started in this sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity. Please share.
Well, first, thank you very much for having me. I'm very honored and flattered to be here. It's very kind. Um, so I came over to America about 13 years ago, and I came because I had a fibrosarcoma malignant tumor in my upper mandible of my face, had metastasized to the whole right side of my face. So it has been completely reconstructed, and I have 44 pieces of metal and had to relearn to speak and talk and everything and learn English. and so I just kind of that my next level. I was a professional ballerina with the Bolshoi Ballet for 38 years. I was a prima donna with them for 18 years. I was also a professional ice skater for 18 years and a professional gymnast for 17 years. And they kind of all at the same time, of course, for a while. So this is all I have to do is athletics. But I have about 8 years off before I did Pittsburgh last year, because in between because of surgeries and trying to reconstruct and things. So it was a toll on my body. But I got involved a little bit in bodybuilding before that. I had been in a gym after some chemos and reconstructions, and a lady was like, "You need to get on stage." And I was like, "I'm on stage all the time." What do you, you know? And then she said, "I'm talking about bodybuilding." I was like, "I was talking about ballet." So we were on two different pages. But I went on stage with her and won everything and fell in love with the art of the sport, because as much as people think it's very cut and dry, I think that if you watch a show, it's not. It's not that simple because every body is different. So the work on having to do the nutrition and be so precise, and the precision of the workout and the precision of cardio and the timing, it made sense to me, and it was enjoyable. It was something I knew. That's everything we did in the professional world of ballet and skating and gymnastics. So that's how I got started and got into it.
Whoa, a ballerina, a skater, gymnast, and you were from Russia. Oh, wow. That's just, wow. You Russians used to dominate for a good while in especially the Olympics. The Olympics are over. But this year didn't have, Russia's not competed this year because of some issues. And what was that life like for you growing up in Russia?
Um, all I knew was work. I'm an orphan, so at 3 months old, I was put into the ballet. They decided that's what I was going to be, was an athletic artist. So I've been training with them ever since. I had no schooling, formal education. It was all on training, on on living life. So by the time I was 3, I was professional with them and working every day with the bullseye. And then we start traveling about every 9 weeks to 6 months, and I travel the world. And then one day somebody see me and said, he was an Olympic skater, Mark Militano, and he said, "Do you coach skaters?" And I was like, "I don't know nothing about skating." And he said, "Do you skate?" I said, "I don't know nothing about skating." And so he said, "Let's skate." And within a year, I went to pro skating and I was coaching his team. So that's kind of how things kind of evolved. And the same thing happened with gymnastic. And they allowed me, because I was doing well in the ballet, they let me do more. So it
That's
was
good.
just work, work, work. I loved it, but I don't know any different until I came to America and realized what sleep was, and you
Oh yeah,
know,
I can
things like that.
I can understand that. My parents, they worked hard too because they had to raise us six kids, and and I worked a good while. I was by the time I was 12 years old, I was working in the field with my brothers and sisters, and then I had my first real job was 16. I was holding down two jobs, by the time before I was even 30. And yeah, work is tough. I mean, I'm not working anymore now. I mean, I kind of miss making a little money, but sometimes I enjoy a time when I get to rest, don't have to worry about anything, and but you know what? Having that passion for multiple sports that really helps to be a bodybuilder.
Yes, I do. I believe that's very true. Yes,
Yeah.
it translates. I'm starting to get a little bit of a following for posing. I have more posing clients than I have training clients now, and which I'm thrilled with. I love that I can work with them and help them because it's not natural for people to move their bodies in those ways, and they look a little robotic and things, and that part makes sense to me.
Yeah, because especially with a lot of muscle, because the body, because I'm a big dude. Even I'm fat, even with a lot of muscle, the body can't tell the difference.
Yeah,
And
no,
then the one thing, especially depending what division you're in, it's about the movement, posing, especially in like divisions like women's bodybuilding, physique, men's open, men's body, men's classic. You need to learn how to move because you want to not just present yourself, but also to be entertained on the stage because that's how you do well at your shows. So now, what was when did you start your first show? What was that like for you?
My first show would have been, gosh, 23 years ago now. And it was, like I said, it was kind of by accident. I was in chemo because this cancer that I have was my third of four cancers. So all of them, I should back up. My cancers all come from an Agent Orange bomb that I was in as a child. So there was a bombing in the city. I was right by it. And so the shrapnel hit us and body parts and things. So fortunately, I was not harmed that way, but I did have severe shrapnel situation where it was embedded in my cheekbone, embedded in my sternum bone, and it won't. They can't remove it. It fused to the bone, so without cutting off the bone. So now the cheekbone, of course, they've replaced by with all this metal, but the sternum is too close to my lungs and my heart, and too many issues. So that is forever a challenge. But so it caused like uh, I guess a chemical change in my body to start the cancer. And so that was of those first two cancers, I was still performing with the ballet, still doing everything, uterine and ovarian, and those I was able to continue functioning. But that's when I got started. And then after that, when they finally found out what was going on, because I was having severe uh, sinus infections, I thought, but it turns out that it was the tumor growing in the bone. So they had to remove it. So that's how I ended up in America. But when I did that first show, it was by accident. There was an IFBB pro that was in the gym, and we were always in the gym with all the arts that I did. And I was just in there working, and for like 2 weeks, she kept saying to me, "When's your next show?" And I was like, I don't know," because I was thinking she was talking ballet and she was talking bodybuilding. I didn't know anything about bodybuilding at the time. I knew a lot about training because it was something that I was always interested in. It was part of what we did, but I didn't know a lot about bodybuilding per se. And so they're definitely different. They're different ends of the spectrum, functional and daily and things like that. So that's how I got started. And so one day she just finally said to me, you really need to get back on stage. And I said, well, I will when my next show comes up. And I was like, what is her hurry? And she's like, in bodybuilding? And I was like, what? I'm a ballerina. And so she just laughs at me, and then she's like, we're putting you on stage. And I was like, what are you talking about? So she explained the process, how it works, what it was about, and I ended up getting on stage and loving it.
Yeah, because if you look at some of these ballerinas, even when they wear the tutus, when you look at the legs and the rest of the bodies, some of those girls are almost, have physiques just close to like maybe figure or even wellness competitors.
Right,
Yeah, they.
right. Yeah, they really do. I was much close to like a figure kind of position, but I was a little thicker in the legs. And then they just, as we started training, they just grew and grew. And then that's why I ended up in physique and bodybuilding, because I was too big to go in the other categories.
Because it's an evolution as you grow and you develop. As when bodybuilding had started, it was men's bodybuilding, and women came along, and then the women. I think they have more divisions for women to do with the men, because you have women's bodybuilding, then there was fitness, then came figure, and then bikini. Well, that was kind of brought in, but it grows with the
Hmm.
sport. And physique has evolved from women's bodybuilding because they want the more feminine, more athletic aesthetic. And then now
Yes,
you have wellness, which is kind of very for those women who don't have those, who have that more thick in the waist, that's large and
yes,
bottom heavy, and
yes.
it works for them. And I've seen a lot of girls. I got a friend of mine. She just is planning on making her wellness debut. She's been a physique and bodybuilder for quite some time.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So, what was that feeling like that first time you were on stage? Because I know being a ballerina, being a gymnast, and being a skater, it was just new to you, huh?
Right. Actually, that's the biggest reason I wanted to get back in it, because of course, I retired when I moved to America, and kind of had to give all that up. And I was just hoping to live, and now I did. And trying to find a new niche here in America, and then I just want to be back on stage. That's where my comfort zone is. I'm much better on stage than having a conversation with someone face to face. It's just where I feel like I fit. So for me, getting on stage to do that was the easy part. It wasn't. It was fun. It was exciting. It was comfortable. Where most people see the stage, they start getting really nervous, and I've seen it happen even in Chicago and Tampa. They're starting to practice more, and they're starting to panic, and they're starting to worry about things, and all of a sudden my nerves are gone. I see the stage and I just feel like, okay, this is my home.
Yeah, because it's like it's natural for you. You've been a performer
Mhm.
for ever since you're a baby, and
Yes.
sometimes it's other people who are not used to it. I talked to a lady who just turned pro a while back. She was very private, very introvert. She was kind of nervous about her first time competing, but she's gotten used to it because you know what you have to learn to get comfortable to it. Or like my other guy like to say, sometimes what doesn't make you stranger makes you stronger.
Yeah. Right.
He pops. He loves saying that's his favorite quote.
Yeah.
So, folks, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into Wendy's social media for a little bit. Look at some stuff. You want to follow her. Her link is in the live stream of this video. You can check her out. You can follow her if you're someone who's maybe interested, maybe as working as a competitor. You want to look as a poser. You want to follow her. Let her know. But guys, and I got to use Wendy as a disclaimer. I said to everybody out there, guys, this is a nice lady. Be respectful. No D pics. Come
Yes.
on.
Please. Thank you.
Yes, I know. You see her like this. She got a nice, beautiful smile. She's all pumped up. I know you got to get excited, but come on. Just calm down. Take a deep breath. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. So we're going to jump in here for a bit. And here are right here on and you own your own gym, right?
Yes. Well, I had my own gym for about 5 years, and actually, just recently, I closed the physical location. I'm still Grok Fitness, but I work out of TG, the gym here in Mesa, and I went from $5,000 a month in rent to zero rent, so it just made sense.
And this is right here. This is your legs. Wow.
Yeah,
I love
those are
that.
my legs.
What's your favorite workout? Least favorite workout?
My favorite is leg day.
Oh my God, you're a
Yeah.
mutant. I gotta say, I have to get you a mutant. No, no bodybuilder likes leg day. You're a mutant, Wendy. I gotta
Yeah,
tell
I
you.
really do. I enjoy the work. I enjoy the challenge of trying to improve myself.
Yeah.
Um, Probably my least favorite is, maybe with a lot of women, is chest, mostly because I don't feel like I can see the changes as much. It's harder to get a lot of development on chest, and you
hmm
know, that's all.
Here's this is one of your clients. And she just turned pro in wheelchair, and this was
Yes.
like this early summer.
Yes, and Charlotte, actually, she's very interesting as well. She broke her back just last July. So now, when she went pro, it wasn't even a full year since she had broke her back.
Wow,
Yeah, isn't that
that's
exciting? Yeah.
yeah, because I think wheelchairs is really getting popular because they have it almost was a classic. It's at the
Yes.
Olympia. I mean, and it's not as many women in the wheelchair division as the men, but there's a good chance that you can see more women in the future because anything. Here she is with the legend herself, eight-time champ, Linda Murray. That is,
Yeah.
yeah, she's the woman that really I think is top level women's bodybuilding.
Yes.
And yeah, and this is another one of your clients right here.
Yes, Jace. She also had broke her back a few years ago, so I was very excited for her first show ever to do as well as she did, and posing as a challenge because she has a metal cage in her back.
Or she was at Triple O Dynasty. That's the new show that's being
Yes.
sponsored by Sid Gillen, Whitney Jones, and my favorite person of all time, the woman that changed bodybuilding, Andrea Shaw.
Yes,
Oh,
I
I
got to
love,
in the picture.
I love her. I have a crush on her.
Oh yeah, I think that everybody in the world should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And here's that your client, and this is where she was at the Arnold amateur show. You know,
Correct.
yeah. As the Arnold does not have physique or women's bodybuilding or figure anymore, but still the
Yes.
amateurs have it. What was that feeling for that being there for your client? This is the one of probably the top shows around in the bodybuilding world.
It's an elating feeling to know that you help somebody reach a goal for them, and like these posing routines I choreograph for them, and it's very exciting to see them do them and feel so confident and just achieve something that no one can take away the work you put on that floor or in that gym or what you did on that stage. No matter what you place, no one can say good, bad, or indifferent because that's 100% you versus you, which is something my coaches recently said to me. This is you versus you. So that's an exciting thing to me because nobody can steal that from you, you know?
And here you are at the North Americas. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. I know a
Yes.
couple of ladies who got their pro cards there. One was a friend of mine, Amanda Snooks, and I think a couple of ladies I interviewed, Hannah Hussein and also Michelle Bogdan. Where's that feeling when they told you you're now IFB Pro all these years competing? What was that feeling
I
for you?
I honestly I was in so much shock. I don't think it really hit me until I found that out like I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. And my husband and I got back to our hotel room about midnight because I wanted to wait till the end of the show, be able to talk to the head judge and get some feedback, and what do I need to do to be on that pro stage and be competitive, which I got some great advice and feedback, and she was really great to me. But it wasn't, I don't think, honestly, until I got back into the hotel room and I dropped my bags and I'm going to get emotional now, turned to my husband and we just lost it, just excited, just all the work.
I know it's tough, especially I know some ladies who competed for a long time before they got the pro cards. I know some ladies who had been pro competing as an amateur too long, and then 2 or 3 years, or even less than a year, got their pro card. And you get your dancing. You're doing your is a ballerina that comes natural for you. You're moving. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And what's your husband's name? How long y'all been together?
Anthony Wilson, and this is him, yes. And
Mhm.
we met about 5 years ago, and we've been married for four. Yeah, he's just the perfect partner for me. He supports me 1,000,000%. He treats me like a queen. And he's a five-time world champion power lifter. So he is very into fitness too. We do most of our workouts together. It's very exciting.
Yeah. And who's your coach? Because who you working with?
Okay, there is Eva Dunbar, and then I don't have one up picture with him, but and Derek Farnsworth, they're out of San Diego, and they work together, and they also like Eva just showed up at that show to make sure she was there for me, and surprised me. So
Yeah. Well, I
very
know Miss.
excited.
Yeah, I know Miss Dunbar. She's IFB Pro, women's
Yes,
bodybuilder. I think last time she competed was in 2022 at Savannah Pro. And I was there at Savannah when she
correct.
last
Oh, you
competed. Yeah,
were?
yeah, I was
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, it was my first bodybuilding show I ever went to.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and you have to love what you do in this sport.
Yes.
Especially you're a woman of mature age, and
Mhm.
you're holding your own, and you feel like as a woman of mature age, it's a lot tougher to build muscle compared to somebody who's much younger.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Our bodies start fighting against us. They want to hold, a little more water and a little more body fat. They don't want to let us, just our eating has to be a lot more clean. And I've always eaten clean, but it definitely had to even tighten up more. So there's definitely changes that are made as you grow. But it's possible. I put on 6 pounds in 8 months of lean tissue. So I'm pretty, it's possible. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm like I said, I'm going to be 50 in a few months, and I with one point I was almost 500 pounds because I was taking care of my mom for a long time. And when she
Wow.
passed away, I had nothing else to do. I had to take care of myself, and
Good
now
for you.
I'm under 400 pounds, and it's hard. I still, like I said today, I went and I picked up a thing of chips and I ate a thing of donut sticks, but still I try to eat a little smarter.
Mhm.
But sometimes habits are hard to break. So oh, we have here some people just coming in. My man, Lawrence Perkins, shout out to man Lawrence. He says, "Good afternoon, Wendy, George, and everyone in the chat. Thank you, brother." This is also from man Lawrence. Says, "Excellent routine, Miss Wendy, and keep that love going to you and Anthony for a whole eternity. Thank you." This is from
Oh,
man Bodybuilding fan oh 01. He said, "Definitely should going to be a good one. Wendy is beautiful." Oh yeah, because yeah, you guys get here. Hey, when I get a new girl here, these guys get excited. And my other guy says he want to agree to say like, "And Wendy, you are beautiful."
thank you very much.
So but we're going to show this video. Yes, I found this. I try to research on somebody
Mhm.
and get some information. And I found this video while I was searching up on her, and it is from when she got her pro card
Oh,
at the North Americans. And I'm gonna pull it up in a bit. And I don't know if you've seen it. Because he did the interview. It's been like I think a year ago. And let me
oh,
see.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull
Yeah.
it up. Give me a second.
My husband was
Yeah,
very excited too.
there you go.
Championships. I'm here with your women's bodybuilding 50 and over champion and new IFBB pro, Wendy Graack-Wilson. I said it right? Wendy, congratulations. Pro card. How's it feel?
Amazing, unbelievable, exciting, very honored.
How long have you been competing?
Um, about 12 years off and on. Yeah.
And how many shots at this have you taken? Like how many pro card opportunities?
One other. And
Really? It's only your second national show ever.
Yes.
How was the first one? What'd you place?
I placed fourth. I barely missed. So
you were close, and then this time you come and win the whole thing.
Yes.
So now, okay, you got your pro card out the way. What's the next step? What's next?
Get better, tighter, build some more muscle, and try to get on that pro stage and show what I have.
All right, so when can we expect a pro debut from Wendy? This year? Next year?
Next year for sure. For sure.
Taking a break now?
I want to build a little. I think I need to get a lot leaner and tighter. So you're always room for improvement. Yeah.
So is there anybody you want to thank, give a shout out to or anything like that to help you along your journey?
100%. My husband, Anthony Wilson, he has been 100% a rock, and it's never easy for the other side. So God bless him for being who he is. My coaches, Derek Farnsworth and Eva Dunbar, and my opposing coach, Chelsea Wershire, they all did amazing with me and spent so much time and heart. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here.
Well, that's awesome. Well, congratulations. Looking forward to seeing you on a pro stage next year.
Yes.
Kicking some butt, whatever, getting right back in that mix like you are now. I'm sure it'll be great. All right, this is Neil Cash and Wendy, your new 50 Pro champ. MVP News, we out.
Congratulations. I know you were very proud that day. I mean, it's tough. I was, like I said, one lady who I interviewed, you both did that same show together, and you were competing in both women's physique. That's Miss Gina Cortez. Both of you,
yes.
Gina, both of you, Gina, did Tampa, and she won in women's over 60 in women's bodybuilding, and you won in women's over 50. What made you switch from women's bodybuilding to physique for your pro debut?
Well, it's probably hard to see without putting me next to people, but even on the stage at nationals, I was a little concerned, like after preliminaries, because I was 122 pounds, and you could physically see these girls were like the next closest person to me in my category was 146 pounds, and so I was just small, and And still, when I went on in Chicago and Tampa, I was 128 pounds. So I did well and I was leaner. I went from 7.1% body fat to 3.8 in the pro stage. So I definitely put on 6 pounds of lean muscle, but I'm still pretty small. And then it was also kind of deciding, my coaches and I went back and forth because of the aesthetic side of being like more feminine, and they felt that I'm still carrying a lot of that feminine side may not carry over in the bodybuilding as well, and just yeah, not being small and that, so we just decided that it was a better starting spot, and then kind of as I evolve, I may switch back to bodybuilding, and I love them both. They're both very similar. Some of the bodybuilding poses are actually easier for me, believe it or not, than the physique, because I'm not very long. I'm not, almost 5 feet. And so it's not, they're, getting those long places. Excuse me, I'm
That's
not
all right.
something over. Getting those long lines, is harder when you're a lot shorter. So it's definitely something that I'm working at, but my goal isn't to get smaller. So that's where the bodybuilding, I think, will eventually I'll evolve to.
Yeah, because I know one lady who competed at Tampa. She also competed a show with you. That was Michaela Aycock. Y'all did the
Oh,
USA's back in 2015, and she's like barely 5 feet. I think Michaela's like
yes.
4'11". And it seemed like with the smaller women, y'all can really pack on a little more muscle. But with Michaela, she's young. Her body's still developing, growing. I know. I
Yes.
was like, part of me was surprised that she lost to Christina Mendoza, because I felt like she's going to get the hometown nod. But Christina looked impressive. And the thing about the femininity thing, Christina looks very feminine. Andrea looks very feminine. It's about how you come in as a competitor. And you see as a sport, especially women's bodybuilding physique, you feel like that it's getting to the point where the lines are kind of like getting a little thin between the two
Yeah.
divisions. Like, because recently I saw a young lady, she also competed at the Tampa. Her name is Manon. She was figure, but now she's talking about moving over to women's physique.
Mm, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are getting blurred. I agree. I feel like physique is looking a lot more like the figure girls from the things I saw than the bodybuilding, and I thought it was supposed to be the other way around. But their legs are a little bit leaner or a little bit smaller, I guess is the way to say it. I definitely felt like standing, you could physically see next to those people in the pros. I was definitely more muscular in my lower half than them. But a lot of them had a wider back, and so I have work to do. So, but I wish that this is just a wish. It's not a criticism or anything, but with the IFBB, I wish that they and the NPC as well would do a little bit more of sticking to their guidelines when they say that this is the guideline of what it's supposed to be. People like me who are rule followers, and I'm Russian, we do it as to a T. Then are a little like confused when you walk in and they award something that was not supposed to be the case, like as far as symmetry or angles or sizes or what they said they expect. Yeah, that might be the most fit person or aesthetically pleasing for that, on that stage, but do they fit the category? And if they don't, I wish that they would, instead of awarding that, tell them and have them switch to the category they belong in. In my understanding from when I first began the run in this sport was that this sport was supposed to be your body tells you where you go instead of you telling everyone what you're going to do, like the bikini girls wanting to do wellness. If your body's a bikini body, stay in bikini, you're going to do better, or a wellness girl that should be doing figure and just trying to push that. I'm not saying they can't eventually grow into it, but when they're starting there and they're not ready for it, and then they award that, now there's just no standard across the board. And that's really difficult for those of us who are competitors to navigate.
Yeah, because I talk about this on my channel, where if you look at now, Zama Benta, who won Tampa. Zama, at one point, was in women's bodybuilding. Her back, her shoulders, I'm a fan of Zama. Her body's just crazy.
Yes.
Her delts are just huge. I mean, I posted a video on my, if you go on my IG, it's a video of her, just walking. You see on my YouTube, it's just walking around, and she's just huge. And then there's like Paula Ranta, who was figure but switched up. Paula's doing the Tupelo this weekend. I just did a Texas. And I think she's still young. She's just 20, 25. She's still developing. I think she maybe should have took the year off and really to grow before she jumped over. Because, I think she still has, I think she has a look they want to go back to, but things change. You can't go back to Danielle Bailey. I think one thing people is going to be, Julia McCart changed everything. And then if they wanted to stay within the guidelines, what they set for, then they should have kept Shanique Grant as the champion instead of go with Sarah Vigors. Because you have Sarah and Natalia. I mean, they're telling Natalia should go to the women's bodybuilding, but there's always they say, I don't want to feel like I'm less feminine. I don't want, but come on, you're just about as big as Andrea Shaw. It's just that she still has that tapered waist, but her shoulders, her definition. I mean, it's just everybody's evolving. Here we have a comment from a man. It's my man, XA Gucci 23. Shout out to my brother here. He's coming through. He says, salute George Page. Thank you, brother. And also, this is from my man KL the Wanderer. He says this. He says, shout out KL. He also does content on bodybuilding and also the subject says, word up. Say what up, brother. Also, this is from from him. Also, he says this. He says, wait a minute, 6 time. Okay. He says, how long do you want to compete? So what's you feel like you want to, because you already have other plans for your future. You feel like you want to still compete for a little longer?
Oh yeah. I want to compete as long as my body will allow me to. And I definitely, like I said, have a cancer history in the past, but I also have outgrown that. So of these 200, there's 200 worldwide cases only of these type of sarcoma that it was in my face. And of the 200, I am the only surviving case at this time. But I'm probably the healthiest I've been since the war. So I feel great, and I don't see any reason I can't keep going. And I have, I think, proven that if you were to see, all of me at nationals to Chicago, that I can improve. And so if I don't see any reason, as long as I keep getting a better version of me, there's no reason to quit because I love the sport. And I think I do. I don't think I'm all that. I have room to grow, but I also think I have something to offer to bring to the stage with a stage presence, with an art and the posing that is unique and separate from everyone else up there. And I honor that. I like that. I want to keep bringing out that there can be more. You don't have to be stuck in a box.
It's like one of my favorite fighters coming up. My favorite boxers, like next to Ali, like Mike Tyson said, Mike Tyson, I just want to fight. I just want to fight. That's all I want to do is fight. I don't care about anything else. I just want to go in there. It's like, sign the contract, big boy. Let's go. Yeah, because to do this sport, you have to have a passion for it. And people understand that this is a tough sport. It's a stream sport. And because bodybuilding is not as mainstream. Like I remember back in the day when I used to watch bodybuilding was as a kid, like Arnold, was big, and you had guys like Lee Haney and that. And if you think about bodybuilders, 2 people you mostly think of is Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk and the Terminator. Yeah. But this sport is, people always condemning it because there's always going to be that excuse about steroids, but or HGH, all that stuff. But that's only a small factor to the sport. Because one thing, you can take, I got a friend, he's an IFBB pro. He told me like this, George, these guys can take the same shit I take. But if they don't follow the diet, and don't stay consistent, they don't do this and don't do that, they're not going to look like me.
Exactly.
They're gonna look shit. Because that's the one thing, especially for you women, it's a lot tougher because it's like this. People, especially in this society here in America, and maybe just also in Russia, people don't like the idea of women with muscle. They feel like, it's not as feminine because like right now she got tank top guys on. Look at she's shredded to the bone. I mean, everything's popping right here. And I know you guys who are fans, we love it. We're schmoes. We love it because we get excited when we see ladies like that. But I think everyday people just feel like, what? Why she want to be like that? Why she want to yeah. It's just you get tired of hearing that sometimes. You ever have to deal with it especially on social media, especially even though you work in the gym. Sometimes you go out and about.
Yes, even in a gym. In the gym, I I'm one of the few women that has a lot of male clients because I'm built, and I lose female clients, like potential clients and things, unless they're really looking to be a competitor themselves, because they say to me, to my face, they've said, I don't want to look like that, I don't want to look
Yes.
like you, and then I have to remind them, but you can't. There's because not just because you don't want to, but if you were willing to work that hard, you'd already be halfway there, and you're too far behind the line to be able to get there. There's just, you don't have it. I'm sorry, I that's the bluntness of me, but the truth is it's a rare thing. That's why there's so few women bodybuilders and physique women that are pro or that are even competing in the NPC. There's often not even a single competitor in physique or bodybuilding for women. At many of those shows, I know because I'm training some, and we go and we're the only one there, and that's a shame. But it's because it's hard, and they can't get that lean, they can't get that big, because they have to do all the work, they have to eat the food, they have to do the cardio, they have to be disciplined, and most people don't have that kind of discipline. They're just not interested in working that hard. They want that daily life balance, which is great, I'm not knocking it, but not all of us are made that way.
Yeah,
I
because just shout out to the great Ronnie Coleman who was there at Tampa. We got his reward. He says like everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, no one lifts a heavy ass weight.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that you, like I said, you can't be like her unless you don't follow those guidelines. Everybody's like, I just want to get toned, I want to get fit, I want to get. But like I said, when you get into the sport and you love it, you have a passion for it, and you find like, you know what, I want to keep going further. I just want to look fit. I want to look shredded like Wendy. I want to look really like cut. I want to look like I can go on the stage and hold my own.
Yes.
You just really, this is a sport of passion, but also it's a special sport for women compared to the guys. I keep saying this: guys got to wear a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. You ladies, it costs y'all more. Like you got your hair done, your makeup, your jewelry, and just count just tanning your coaches. I know you
Yeah.
say you're working with Chelsea Warchster, who was a IFBB pro, also
Yes.
Olympia. You still working with Chelsea?
I don't. She moved back to Oregon. She was here for a while. Every once in a while we'll touch base, but what I was looking for was a posing coach in that was face to face with me versus over a camera. It's just a little hard to see lines and details that way. So that's why how I ended up working with her, and I loved working with her. I would do that again in a heartbeat. So someday the opportunity may come again. So I just transitioned to another person this year because she was gone. But yeah, if I couldn't say enough good about her, you know.
Yeah, that's good. He's gonna have a good relationship. Here we got here a comment from KL. He says he says, I saw her in my dreams the other night. I'm joking. No, you're not joking. You're not joking. You're not joking. I know you, KL. I know you're me. You're muscle pull and smoke. There's an old, where's this old saying? Say when you ladies rock hard, we're rock hard. So that's another story. It's like, it's just because it's tough. The time you sacrifice you got to make. I know there's times where like when you want to spend time with friends, with your friends, or you want to go out and you say, I can't do that because I got to get ready, I got to work out, I got to train more, I got to do my cardio, I got to stick to my diet. Especially
Yeah.
peak week, that's the toughest one of all because where you're so close, and also you don't want to deal with too much stress because stress can be one of the factors which can really hurt how your physique looks. I've seen some ladies who look great just that week before, but then something happens, and then when you got on stage, like, wow, it just,
It wasn't the same. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Stress is hard on our bodies, very hard.
yeah. So right after your last shows, what was that thing you wanted the most, Wendy? That one thing that was calling for you. You ladies are hungry, you're hangry, you're starving. What was that thing that you wanted? Yeah, that desired you, call for your name.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a first place person. So taking fifth, I was very honored and proud, and I do feel like I feel like I was placed where I probably belonged. And every day, every show, every time is a new group of competitors, and to take fifth in both of my first pro debuts, nothing to sneeze at by no means, but I'm not coming back until I'm going to be in the running for first, and that's just who I am.
That's pretty nice. I was asking which were things you ate last after the show.
Oh, what I ate? I didn't.
That's good. That's good. I should
That's
have said.
funny. I misunderstand you. Yeah, what I ate. Let's see. You're going to laugh. Salmon and broccoli and shrimp.
That's no, that's nothing. You know, that's another reason I have women tell me you like sushi. This typical is pizza or burgers. You know, it's just what you want at that time.
Yeah,
I don't eat salmon. I don't eat fish like that. I don't
yeah,
know. I'm like I said, I like a nice piece of meat and something like some potatoes or something.
yeah.
Like this is how I'm country.
Uh,
When you get to know me, I'm country. My mama, we raised us on good old fashioned food. And it's just that it's a lot to do this sport. The time you put in, I know, it's good that you have support of Anthony. He stand by you, and and all the people that stand in your corner. What would you say? Would you want more for yourself out of the sport?
More for myself. Um, Gosh, that's a very good question.
Yes.
I want to be a better version of me every day. I want to be able to do this with still a confidence, but of grace and I guess humbleness that I I'm just me, and I would like to be the best version of me every day. So I want to be able to wake up, make sure that I still take care of my husband. I'm still a good wife to him, a good person, and I think I can always improve on that. And I want to know that by doing the sport, instead of it tearing everything apart in my life, that it actually going to improve it. And I do feel like that's the biggest reason I enjoy continuing, besides being on stage, to continue to move forward with it, because I enjoy the idea that if I feel good in my own skin and who I am, I can be a better person for those around me, and I do a better job as a coach, as a friend, as a wife. So those are important things to me.
That's good. Here we got a comment from man KL. He says, "How much you eat in a day and train to be that shredded the way you are?" Because he look at the shreds right now. He's not looking at you like he look. She just did a show a couple weeks ago. She still looks like she can do one more. So what's your you have nutritionist? What's the diet like for you?
I am actually a pretty low carb person, probably, well, honestly, because I'm actually a type 1 diabetic. I was born with diabetes, which
Oh,
is, most people don't realize, and that's because I work hard at it. But so I average about 300 grams of protein a day, around 100. I kind of float between 75 and 150 grams of carbs, and then once every couple of weeks we throw in a 300 day or something. But for the most part, keep them a little low, and my fats stay around 60 to 100, so they're a little higher. So yeah.
yeah. I know I'm pre-diabetic, but my like I said, my doctor, my blood sugar really dropped down pretty good. It's not as high as it used to be because I've been doing some good things for myself. My mother was diabetic. One of my sisters diabetic. It's in my family. It's tough. Especially I think a lot of bodybuilders have to deal with it because it's effects of the insulin, how your body develops, especially putting this much size of muscle. Here we got my man Lawrence. Shout out to him. He says this. He says, uh, Miss Wendy, keep on being you, and your legacy continues to inspire others around the world of health. That brings life in our mind, body, and soul. Thank you, Lawrence. Yeah, this is my man Lawrence. He's a big fan of you ladies. He's a big supporter.
Thank you,
And
Lawrence.
yeah, thank you. He's always coming through. I appreciate that. And yeah, it's just it's a lot to do the sport. The time you got to put in, the sacrifice you have to make, and and what motivates you as you get on that stage and and you want to be the best and competing with some of these top level ladies. What motivates you to keep going to do this sport?
I'm not even sure. It's like inbred in me. It's all I've ever known. Like, I was brought up like, second is okay, it isn't okay. It's either you're either the best at what you do, you're all or none. So I in some ways I have maybe an advantage over some people because I didn't have to learn to make this a priority or to put effort in like this, because it's all I've known. um I never, I didn't have, like, we didn't have I never learned how to ride a bike until I was 40, if that tells you anything. You know, like I wasn't a kid. I wasn't ever allowed to be, to do those kind of things. And I don't miss it because I didn't know what I was missing. You know, I didn't know it was there even. But I do know that there is something that I was given maybe by that process of the way I grow up, different than the average society I live in now. And that is that fortitude and tenacity to continue pushing hard, even when I'm exhausted or sick or not feel well or have to have a treatment on my face, anything like that for the bone grafting around the metal, things like that. It never doubts my mind. I still need to go to work tonight. I still need to do my job. And this is now part of my job. Being a pro is part of my job. It is who I think I need to uphold that standard. If I want my clients to work at a certain level, I need to lead by example. And so I never think of it any different. So what motivates me is just every time that I achieve that, every day that I get to that level of where I want to be, um, or if I don't reach it, I can't wait for the next day. I can't wait for the next day and try again and just be a better version, you know. And I love working out with my husband. He pushes me to points I didn't believe I could ever go before. He's really cool that way. Being a power lifter, he's so strong, you know? And so it's kind of getting exciting because over the last couple of years, I'm lifting pound for pound with him and sometimes more because I don't have to change the weight to do the same exercise. And that's exciting, you know, it's fun. And I like the challenge. I like the everyday of there's something more out there. There's something more to be. We can all be a better version of ourselves, whatever way we want to look at that. And for me, it's the more that I put into myself as far as pushing myself to be not just a better physical person, it allows me to have a better spirit. It gives me an energy, you know, it's like an endorphin, I guess, you know.
Yeah, that's good because I think bodybuilding it should be more profitable for you competitors because you think about it, you're competing in the red most of the time. Like this is
Mhm.
it's from a movie I used to watch, The Incredibles, where he was telling Mr. Incredible, his boss was telling him, it's your job is keep the company in the black. But this is a sport where you put more money in and get back out of it. Like one thing I
Yes.
like this, I think there should be more benefits. Like okay, like especially what you deal with cancer. You get sick, you might need to something might happen. You might have emergency. You might have need insurance and stuff like that. Things like spousal insurance, things like health life insurance. I mean, we do the shows, even though you may not win. Like you saw the big prize was for the Texas Pro, one of the biggest prizes outside of the Olympia for winning physique, $15,000. Yeah, think about that. That's a good chunk of change. Arnold just shoot up it's about to shoot up the over men's division for 500,000, but then say, oh, there's no money or for women's bodybuilding or physique or figure at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic, but you can come up with another $200,000 for men's open. But we all know this is how I say it. The men's
Mhm.
bodybuilding division is the bottom bitch. If you know anything about the Pippin game, they're the ones who bring the money to promoters. But still, I think not saying it should be equal with the men, but at least make it more profitable for you
Yeah.
ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that you know, this is nothing against Arnold, but I can see Arnold looking at this as women almost invaded his sport. I, you know, kind of understanding his culture, maybe a little more, you know, coming as an Eastern European myself. I see him being just a very like, you know, I'm the man. This is my sport, you know, and so women coming in and we threatened that idea to him in a Syracuse route or something. You know, I don't think it's true, but I think that's how he might feel. So you know, he's made it very clear he does not like women's bodybuilding or physique. And he obviously has kind of leaned to figure being part of that too. He really likes that wellness and bikini area, and that's so. You know, we accept it and we move to things like Wings of Strength with Jake Woods and work there. You know.
Yeah. I actually saw him in Savannah when he was there. I didn't talk to him because he was busy. Jake, I got to, anytime I say Jake's name, I say, yo, Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. He is the guy who really saved women's bodybuilding. As you know,
Yes.
the Rise Phoenix is coming up, and because you live in Arizona, and
Yes.
that's going to be. Are you going to go and check it out, or
I'm gonna go watch it. I'm not going to compete because I did those couple shows. I got my feedback. I know what I want to work on, and like I said, I can't make those changes in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So I'm gonna take the time to make them because when I step on that stage, I want them to know who I am.
That's good, and shout out to, I think the champ is going to win again. This is going to be a
Mhm.
fifth win. I'm a fan of hers, and yeah, I think as I said, I was a fan of Ronald. I grew up watching the movies like Arnold and
Absolutely.
like the Terminator and the Conan. And said, "Question enemies, seen it for you." I can't even they show the women. And then it's stuff I've heard from people who are around him, who hears it. He keeps bikini wellness because they're the, excuse my French, they're the tits and ass division, but figure's still there, and but he still
Yeah.
allows that. And some of those figure girls are almost the level as maybe women in physique and women's figure,
Yeah.
But instead again, you women deserve just as much recognition. You work just as hard, maybe not the same level as a man. Men and women are always going to be biologically different. Guys,
Right.
like you look at the Lungfirst, you look at the Heidi Chopins, you look at the Big Ramis, you look at all these other guys, and it's the one thing from like Sarah Vilgus or Andrea Shaw or even Cindy Gillen. There's different evolution of different women, but I think there should be more opportunities, and sponsorship helps. Like, are you sponsored? Everything's on your shoulder.
Everything's on my shoulders right now. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love sponsorship, but I'll be honest, I'm not a very good, as you can see, there's not a lot of Instagram posts. It's not a comfortable thing for me. It's not that I'm not want to do it, but I'm not very good at it. I don't know. I don't understand it super well. It's, maybe one day I'll have somebody that does it for me and I would get a lot more recognition that way. But, it is what it is. If somebody were ever interested, I would do anything they ask. I just don't really know how to move forward that way.
Well, social media is one thing. It's very popular, especially with young people. Like me, especially with me. I'm on YouTube. I have IG. I have to be, always putting stuff because this is where you get your attention. People like TV ones grow up. TV was my thing. I used to love get out Saturday mornings and watch cartoons, and but TV is kind of like falling off. Social media is really taking over. Like if you saw the whole thing, the women in Australia, the Olympians, the breakdance.
Yes.
I got a lady that interview, we become friends, and she said to George that we this is bad for Australia. She sent me that video. So what's this? What's this? Lisa said, this girl dancing, and she's from Australia. I said, oh my God, what is she doing? She's having a stroke. Is she like a seizure? I mean, and I think, like I said, this recognition does help. Sponsorship does help, and social media is always a thing. I mean, it's just a new thing. Especially young people, they're going to jump on what's popular, what's hot.
Right.
And it takes us people who are a little bit more mature a longer time to get to it. But once we get to it, it's a great thing. And I like this. I know some of these ladies, and I don't know. This is something I know Anthony would not want you to do it because a lot of these ladies do, as I call them, the excuse my French, the beat the meat websites. That's what they are.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's really there's a big fetish, especially for women in bodybuilding. Even guys in the bodybuilding world, because it's a way to make money, but it's not for everybody. Because
Right. Yeah.
and that's why I say if bodybuilding was more lucrative, like where you can have the cost to pay for going to the shows, like as an amateur, as you as a master competitor, you get to pay an entry fee, and that's the
Mhm.
crazy thing about that. I mean, because there's a show coming up this weekend. I think it's the Max Fit lady I've interviewed. She works with Units of Bad Rap. That's JoJo. She's competing at that show. I'll talk
Mhm.
about it on my channel. When I get this information out, and I think there should be more, like I said, equal footing. When which okay, where do you have these shows here where the master shows where you have Master Olympia supposed to come up next year? There's a show with Gary Udit, the World Championships. I think those master shows should also be the qualification shows. If you're gonna have to pay like you're amateur, then have an overall so you get a chance to go to the
Yeah.
Olympia.
Yeah. It would be
Yeah.
really great. Yeah. Because that's something that would be, I mean, I guess in my world now, looking at the Masters Olympia would be a wonderful opportunity, but it would be nice. I think that there's some of us that have the ability. Michaela Aycock is one of them. I'm shocked that she hasn't placed higher than she has many times because she's someone to look up to. She
Yes.
brings a conditioning level that few of us will ever obtain.
Mhm. But see,
You know.
that's the thing about women's bodybuilding, because that's why they try to push it out so long ago. As I like to quote from my movie Batman Begins, how they walk quiet behind women's bodybuilding, stabbing the heart. when they got kicked out of the Armour, they got kicked out of the Olympia, and so few shows. Even though it's a little bit better than it was before, where there was maybe barely 10 shows, but now it's at least 12 to 13. There's the Rise of Phoenix, even though it's an invitational, it's not, it's still a qualification, but Andrea is going to win. Whoever's already qualified is going to be placing. So, and then you have a show coming up that's the Grand Prix, that's in Anaheim. Alina Popa's got a show in Romania, and also there's a show Cup of Europa. And still, Physique still have a few more shows, like the Tupelo.
Yes.
There's the I think the Arizona Pro. There's the Legion show, and the opportunities are there. But it's just that I wish there was more, as promoters giving opportunities to these competitors. Like, this is one example. There's like 100 million thousand bikini and men's open shows and wellness shows. Prize money is better than it was $2,000 for first place. But then you see the wellness girls walk away $4,000.
Yes.
I mean, I understand it's a popular division, but I said again.
It's hard. It's hard as a physique and bodybuilding woman too, because those wellness girls and bikini girls, I'm not saying they don't work hard, but they don't have to do the same work that we do. Our work is tenfold. Our workouts are longer. Our workouts are harder. Our ability to, not ability, our focus to have to get to a certain level of leanness and striations and dry. It all takes us a lot more work. And I can say that firsthand because I work with all those competitors, and what they have to do is nothing close. And even their posing is, they have to do a third of the poses that we do. And they have to worry about one part or one body part that really is, that part looks good, everything else comes together. That's not how our posing works. And I realize it's kind of the same with men's versus physique and bodybuilding, but it's hard. It's definitely hard as a woman that has muscle to this extent to watch them continue to be rewarded for something that most often is genetics.
Yeah, because I think with bikini and wellness, those are more, say, aesthetically pleasing divisions.
Yes.
And it's easy to get sponsorship for those women, as compared to women's bodybuilding. Like Andrea, she do good work. She's out there. She's hustling. That's why I'm a fan of hers. A while back, a friend of mine, Eunice, from Bad Rap, she was there at the Olympia last year. She got me this.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
And I still have a collection of some old muscle development magazines, and this is why I love doing this. And when I do this content and talk about you ladies, she took the time out, and this is my holy grail.
Yes.
She
signed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she meant it. Having met her, she meant it. Her heart is as big as gold, and she's amazing. She is everything you see her on stage. She's that and more in person. It was an honor to meet her.
Yeah, I actually saw her guest pose when she was at Savannah, her and Mona Persley. I would love someday to have her on my channel. I love meeting her in person. I know people that know her. I mean, I got one guy I know. I don't know why I do this. He's my brother. I love him. His name's Big Keith Williams. He's an IFBB pro. He sent me this picture a while back. I don't know why he did it, because he wanted to make me jealous. As it goes, hugging my girl.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got a smile on your face. You got a wife, man. I don't got nobody, but I'm sorry, Wendy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love you, Keith. My brother, though, never send that shit to me again. But yeah, I mean, it's good that you have good people like Andrea and several other ladies, and Sarah, who's put her money up. We're doing for what she's doing for her division, and Jake and all these other people. Because you know what? Except again, it should be more opportunities for you ladies, even financially. Because you know what? This sport is physically, mentally draining. I mean, there's days I know you get up in the morning and you say, you know what? I don't want to keep doing this. I know it's back in your head, but you know what? You just keep pushing yourself. Like quote, the greatest all-time hero is Rocky Balboa. He says, it doesn't matter how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can take the hits and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Here we got a comment from a man, XA Gucci 23. He says, 4K, bump it up to 20K, and that's pretty good. Also, or 50K or 100K. I think it should be in Olympia 100K because I think the right speed is 50, 100 for like Andrea at the Olympia. Ish, you know, because if guys can, if guy 10th place can make more. No, I think guy in 5th place can make more than the women's physique and women's bodybuilding champion. I mean, it's not really fair. Here we got a comment here from my man Money J 2024. He says, I'm not a fan of wellness and bikini, but I respect what they do. But women's physique, women's bodybuilding figure ladies have the level of muscles that I am huge fan of. 3 divisions, also the fitness too. Yeah, shout out to him. It's from a man Lion 2012 says, I love the channel. Wendy Graack is awesome. I hope to one day meet her in Toronto if she does one of the shows here. Okay, it's only one show is Toronto Pro. You mean, you know. And also, we have here, this is from my man Money J says, that picture again with Keith George and Andrea. I'm sorry, man. I can't help it. I can't help I try to be nice about it. I love my brother. He's my brother. I love him, but he irks me. He irks me. It irks me. So we're not gonna hold Miss Graack-Wilson too long. We do appreciate your time. I know she's a busy lady. She got things to do, people to see, you know, and I do enjoy taking time off. When I get to talk, I mean, get a chance to talk to somebody like you. You went through a lot, you know, being an orphan, fighting cancer, all the stuff you did. You went through hell and back. And most people, you know, would just have gave up, just say, you know what, I'm done. But you know what? I gotta respect, you know, one of my favorite heroes is always gonna be Batman. Because what made Batman, he doesn't have superpowers like Superman. He can't fly, he can't do it. He just have money. But what made him such a great superhero, not a hero, a great detective, because his determination.
Yeah.
And that's what you get. You got that in spades, determination. Here we got here from a man says, why don't you ask her marry you, George? It means that much to you. Well, I would love to ask Andrea, but you know, she don't know me. So what's the point? Maybe, you know, we're married in my head, so that's good enough for me. Yes, so but like I said, this is why if I could do this, I would love to do more like this. I get a small platform, give y'all ladies a chance to see your voice. I wish I could do more. And but then also you gotta deal with people like saying like this, hey Wendy, I saw you your last show, you really pump your little cute little face. So if I do something for you, no.
Yeah.
This is a lovely lady. She's a married woman. She's a respectful woman. This is what she wants. Says, Mrs. Graack-Wilson, we have a plan for you. We really enjoy your story, how you went through your determination. We are in a business where we want to sponsor and help athletes achieve their goal. So if you're interested and it works with your plans, and if we are both, agreeable, then we'll set you up. We'll take care of you. We have you, whatever you need from us. All we need for you is just to represent yourself real well and our product, and also we'll help you out in your next upcoming season.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. I'm elated. Yes.
Don't cry. She's about to cry. She's for clip.
Yeah. No.
Talk about yourself. I rarely get somebody to cry. I say,
no. I just love what I do, and it means a lot to have someone recognize it. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm very interested.
Yeah, like I said, if I was that guy, like not Jake Wood money. I think if I had Bill Gates money, I could do something like that. I would love to do something like that. I would love to get more shows opportunities, sponsor people. I would love to do that. But like I said, I only have this small platform, and give y'all ladies like yourself a voice to share. People understand that you're a woman, you're a wife, you are a friend, you are a competitor, you are a trainer, a coach. The spotlight, and it's not just that I'm just this buff chick with muscles, but you are a person and an athlete, and people need to remember that. I know society is not up to like if you look at TV now, sports, like I said, bodybuilding used to be on television, but now you can watch cornhole or throwing darts, and bowling it still counts for sport, but bodybuilding, it's one of those sports that it still gets a lot of criticism, but it's a passion sport. And I think there should be more opportunities for y'all, be it financial or anything like that. Those things should really help you in the long run, especially the finance part. Because, like I said, those posing suits.
Yes.
I have
Yes.
many late tell me stories. Here, this is from a man. Money J says, "You don't know what you can do until you try." Yeah, shout to you. And also, he says, Zama is amazing. What does Wendy think of her? So you were at the Olympia. What you like? I think you already told me what you thought about her.
Oh, I mean, amazing. I think that she has a whole package, and I like the way she presents herself.
Mhm.
Absolutely, something to aspire to.
You anybody you really you're a fan of that you just we see him, you just like wow.
Um, Probably Andrea. Yeah. Um, just the whole package is there. But I do like the way Michaela Acock present herself. My coach, Eva Dunbar, who she is on the inside. I know she hasn't made an Olympia stage yet, but I believe she will one day, and she has the passion for this. So she really inspires me. Inspires me. Another person I really like is Hunter Henderson. Um, I just I like who she is as a person. I had the very fortunate opportunity to meet her in Vegas at the Dragon Slayer. My husband and I, when we go places, our fun thing to do together is find gyms that are really like nice and go to and try them out. And she just came up running up to me. Oh my gosh, I love seeing women with muscle, and gave me this big hug and spun me around in circles. I looked like a peanut next to her, but she was. I was like, me muscle, like, but they're genuine people as well as, and I'm sure there's many of them, but those are the ones that I've been fortunate enough to know or get to know of a little bit. And so who they are on the inside matches what you see on the outside. That inspires me. And I want to be that kind of person that people, your body comes and goes at some point. Unfortunately, death comes, right? But what is the integrity I can leave on this and mark on this world, for being the good person that I can be, like, and help others pay it forward versus just always about me. How can I make sure their life is a better life because I was in it? That's what I try to do every day.
That's good. That's good. Hunter, she does a lot of powerlifting. She's strong like bear. So
Yeah.
you can and she's still young. I think I don't know if she's gonna do another show, because there's only, like I said, she could do, but I doubt she'd go to the Lena Classic or the Europa show. There's that show coming up, the Grand Prix. She might try to do that because
Yeah.
she came so close. So later that interview, Sherry Priyami, she did pretty good in
Yeah.
Chicago. And she has a present physique. One thing I said that I don't like a new tattoo. She got that tattoo on her chest now.
Yeah.
I'm not a
I heard of it. I didn't see it yet, but I have to see it. But yeah.
yeah. I'll send you the link. I just don't. This is my couple of pet peeves about tattoos and breast implants. It's just all depending on
Yeah.
Some women go overboard. You look like you got like you look like you should be you got an extra pair of speed bags in your chest. Some women go
Yeah.
overboard. It's nice to go moderate because we talked
Right.
about it. We had a panel. We talked about this. It's nice to be moderate. I
Right.
know it makes you feel more feminine, but still, when you look like you should be playing volleyball. It kind of blows it up. But
Yeah.
tattoos can really take away from physique, but I understand she's young. Is everybody likes the new fad, but I'm just not a fan. That's just me. I don't even have some. I know feminine members have some. I don't even have any. I got enough
Right.
scars and stuff on me. I don't need no tattoos.
Yeah.
So like I say, we'll let her go. We appreciate the time she gives us. And we'd like to thank her. Wish her best of luck. I think she's planning on coming back next year. So what show you want to shoot for next year? You want to shoot for Chicago again, or
I would really love to come back in Chicago and see, how I do. I haven't thought a lot about the other shows, but I know. I guess I'm going to look at them as they get closer. I'm my main goal right now is to, improve. And sometimes you just know when you're in that right spot. Like this year, I felt like it was time to see what I look like when I cut down again, and I felt like I made leaps and bounds over what I could have. And what I expected of myself. So now I can't wait to see what I could do next. And I think with my work ethic, I think I have potential to go far and surprise some people when I come back. So
Yeah, as next year they're supposed to be bringing back the Masters Olympia. You might can get an invite. I think they said that if you win certain shows where you win in your class, that can get you invitation, or and also like I say, every so often I always look out for some competitors who I know. Like when the list comes out, Once it comes out, I'll send it to you. Usually just update it, so I gotta wait maybe a
Yeah.
couple of weeks because there were some shows that were added to the list last year for Women's Bodybuilding, but then they dropped them and they keep changing it. But once it comes out and I'll send it to you. You might want to check out see what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, not a problem. Like I said, to quote my man, Batman, you never have to thank me. This is why I do this. This gives me a purpose because, like I said again, when Mom passed away, I didn't have much else to do. This keeps me busy, keeps my mindset because I enjoy talking to ladies like yourself. I know I would love to talk to Andrea, but you know what? I love talking to someone like you because your story is just really what you went through and what you had to do in your life and learning to ride a bicycle. I was riding a bicycle by the time I was 8 years old. I grew out in the country. We used to jump and run out of barns and run in fields and shoot guns when we were kids. But I always had a childhood, and it's good that you found your life. You get your Anthony, you get your friends, you get everybody around you, and you have a passion for a sport. And that's why I want to recognize women like yourself who have this passion. That's why I reach out. I would love to get the people who are, the top competitors. I have quite a few had some top Olympic competitors on here before, but I love talking to people like you who I say like this: you have your boots on the ground, 10 toes down. And you're still going. You love what you do. We saw Evie Rain, she retired, and amazing physique, great, Olympic level competitor. Maybe she might come back. You never know. I know ladies who walked away. I know ladies who are around your age who are still competing, like in their 60s and their 50s, who love the sport, and you get, like I said, you have to love the sport. Because you know what, there's not much to it. It's not as financially secure as any real job, but you know what, it's a job that's, I would say, it's a passion career.
Yes, 100%. I want to take a second to just tell you, thank you. And I know you say I don't need to, but I do want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time, for recognizing me, and for your love for what we do. Because of people like you, we get to keep doing what we do, and that means a lot to me. And I'm very appreciative and grateful to have met you. You're a very, very kind man, and you made this a very comfortable, enjoyable place. So thank you.
I'm like this. I'm gonna say this. I'm just a muscle person that loves buff chicks. That's all. And I do appreciate that. So we're gonna let her go. So anybody want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Well, my husband for all his support, my coaches for never letting me fall. They are underneath me all the time. And same with Anthony. He's just there all the time, every day, supporting me and cheering me on. And my clients, all my clients, and they're kind of my friends too. Many of them are my good friends, and the time that they've allowed me to take to do this, so that I give them everything I can, so that I can take a little time for myself when I need to, and we have a great relationship. And just everyone in general that takes a minute for the sport. Like I said, we wouldn't have the opportunity to get on that stage and do this if somebody wasn't watching. So thank you.
Well, like I said, there's a quote I love saying this is again from KL hates it, but I love saying it from the movie Batman Begins, when Thomas Wayne says, his son Bruce says, "Bruce, why do we fall? Because we learn to pick ourselves up." And it's just, you have to really, it's something you have to love the sport. And I enjoy, like I said again, enjoy this conversation with you, and I hope the best for you. I mean, like I said again, I wish there was more opportunities for you ladies. If anything, just a little more support, a little more recognition, and people realize that. And so again, you're a woman, you're an athlete, you're a lovely lady, you're a very intelligent woman, and you went through a lot. And I think this is why I do this, to give y'all a voice so that people can understand. And and maybe someday people will say, you know what, let's give the opportunity for these women who deserve it. Y'all really do deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. So anyway, folks, we're not going to hold it too much longer. We thank you for the time. We'd like to shout out my man Money J 2024, my brother Execution 23, my brother KL the Wanderer, Lawrence Perkins, my homeboy, also Bodybuilding Fan 01. And anyone who's here who watched the video, share, comment, subscribe, follow us on social media. Share this link if you want to see, if somebody wants to see this. Also, guys, I don't know. I have to say this. If I don't say it, I know, because I know guys like this. She's sitting right here. She's a lovely lady. She still look like she got her shreds on. I know you guys get excited. No D-pics. Her husband is a power lifter. He might pull. He ain't gonna knock on the door. He's gonna pull the door and say, "Why is this to my wife?" Don't do that. These ladies, be respectful. You get more with a silk glove than an iron fist. I know what you're doing with that iron fist. So
Yes.
so folks, thanks to you, the lovely Mrs. Wendy Graack-Wilson. Shout out to her. We wish you all the best, and good luck, and thank you for your time, man.
Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
You too. And it's Male Away George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, don't subscribe. Good night, good evening, and see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.